There is a discernible silver lining in the otherwise ominously dark cloud of COVID-19. A whole new category of employment will emerge soon that will be both better for employees and employers. I call it the interim economy. The word interim literally translates from its Latin origins as the time in between, and for businesses the next 2 years will be a time in which they either adapt or disappear. First, let's lay our cards on the table. There's no guarantee that a vaccine will be created, ever, 40 years on, and AIDS vaccine has yet to be found. Likewise, the probability of the US reaching so-called herd immunity in a country the expanse and size of ours seems unlikely. With the sudden, massive shift to remote work to stop the spread of the pandemic over the past few months, companies have found that working from home actually works. A recent study concluded that up to 40% of all jobs can be performed at home, while before the pandemic, it's estimated that only 3% actually could be done remotely. This trend was already afoot before the pandemic, but it was largely an opt-in lifestyle choice or confined mainly to the blue-collar service industry. When it came to white-collar and professional jobs, it was still the rare exception rather than the rule. Now individuals and companies have found they no longer have to be held hostage by geography. Large but nimble tech companies, like Google, Twitter, Facebook and Square, have already announced that many of their employees will be allowed to work from home at least through the end of the year. Some companies may even choose to continue remote work on a permanent basis. According to a March 30 survey conducted by Gartner Research of 317 CFOs and finance leaders, 74% say they will move at least 5% of their previously on-site workforce to permanently remote positions post-COVID-19. That synchronizes with a recent Gallup poll that found nearly 60% of employees would like to keep working remotely after access to businesses and schools have been restored. This alignment between employee desire and employer needs is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to change the moribund employment landscape. The next step: transitioning these workers into independent contractors. Of the 160 million people employed in the EU in February, 65% had a full-time job and 33% had a contract job with a predetermined end. The average length of stay for full-time employment was 3.5 years and decreasing. The average assignment length for the contract category was 2+ years and increasing. The new economy already was in place, waiting in the wings. The pandemic was just the tipping point. Even after stay-at-home restrictions are eased, and even if somehow we dodge the second wave of the virus that is widely predicted to emerge this fall, there are so many people unemployed that AV or even AU bounce back of the job market is nearly impossible. According to Heidi Shierholz, the former chief economist at the U.